I am so happy to be in the studio with Kris Delmhorst. Kris's new album is called Ghosts in the Garden. Is this album number 10 for you?
I never know exactly how to count, but it's something, it's like that, along those lines. Yeah. I think it's the 9th or 10th full length under my, solo name.
It's lovely. And there's a lot of feelings in this album. Mm-hmm. There's a lot about loss and grief.
Yep.
Was there a theme? Was that on purpose?
Not really, no. I had a lot of songs that I was choosing from when we first started thinking about making this album. Mm-hmm. I had probably 30 songs, but they were covering quite a bit of range in terms of music and style and themes and all that. And so these were sort of the songs that gathered around a central hearth, kind of, as I was looking at them. They just seemed like a family. And then it took me a while. Those were the ones I chose to record, and we recorded them. And then sort of sitting with the recordings made me understand better what they all had in common and how there is a lot of, there's literal death in these songs, and grief and sort of loss of roads not taken and that kind of thing. There's also thinking about what we're losing right now, as in there's a couple of songs that kind of deal with climate crisis stuff, and but what they all have in common, one way or another, is it's sort of like there's an X-ray that makes visible all these invisible presences that we have in our life all the time, that we all do, of departed or that kind of stuff, and so it's kind of like the multitudes that we have in our heart and mind as we go through our tangible day-to-day.
That's deep.
I know.
There's a lot there.
I know.
Are some of these songs that have been around for a while and you just kind of hang on to them and then put them with the album of the same feel? Or
sometimes, yeah. There's certainly some songs that'll hang around waiting for their project.
Yeah.
And most of these are pretty recent, although some of them took a really long time to write. I mean, some of them are songs that I've put down and picked up over years, and then they finally find their time to get done.
I'm not sure where I read this, but I thought I read you talking about a song as if it's almost like a person. Like in you're now that the album's done, you're kind of backing up from the album and going, this thing is raising, it's got a life of its own, and it's like having a child almost.
It is a little bit, yeah, because it's so, when you're writing it and when you're recording it too, it's so yours and private, and then letting it out into the world, it becomes not just what you think it is, but what all these other people hear it as, and you won't even know a lot of that unless they tell you, but yeah, it's like letting it go and be what it will to whoever it will. Yeah.
The album is called Ghosts in the Garden, and I just love the sound. And one of the things I like about this and what I read later is the fact that you've got the same guys in the studio today that you had when you recorded the record a lot of times.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often.
No, it hardly ever happens because everyone's busy and has a million bands and a million projects and tours. And so when I first wrote these guys about the tour schedule, I just sent up a little prayer and sent the email, and they were all free for the entire tour this whole spring, which is really, really special. We just started playing these shows at the beginning of the tour, and it was the first time we had played together or even been in a room, all four of us together, since we were in the studio in November of 2023. So it's really great to reconvene and get to play these songs again together.
Yeah. And the list of guest stars, guest vocalists on this record too. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's huge. We did the tracks live in the studio, and then I was listening to the roughs on a late night drive back from a show. And I hadn't been planning on really bringing people in to sing on this one. There was a lot of guest vocalists on the last one, and I just figured I would sing whatever needed singing. And as I was driving, I was listening down through the roughs, and on each song, almost I could just hear a person, like not just a vocal part, but I could hear the actual person who was singing as if they were in the car, like very realistically. It was really, I've never had that experience. And so when I got home, I just kind of made the list and just started calling those people. And I felt like the songs had sort of requested them, so I just called them up. So yeah, Anais Mitchell sings on one, and Anna Tivol.
Ana Egge.
Ana Egge, Rachel Bayman, Jeffrey.
Somebody named Jeffrey Foucault.
Yes. Yeah. Jay Beyer, Rose Cousins.
Yes.
I think that's everybody. So yeah, it's quite a collection of really incredible voices.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the record.
Thank you so much.
How long is this tour going to be?
Well, it's kind of broken up in chunks over the course of the spring. So we're starting here in early March, and then we will end up in the middle of May sometime, at least with this part, and then we'll catch our breath and see.
So what's next for you?
Oh, gosh.
Your daughter's 17, I understand.
Yes, my
There's
daughter
that part of your
is
life.
almost 17. Yeah, she'll be 17 in June, so we got a lot of stuff to do around that. And I actually have another whole album recorded that I'm going to wait and see when its moment is to deploy, and it's completely different. It's very lighthearted.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. It's such a undertaking just to get a record out, and I'm deep in that right now. So we'll get out and enjoy this tour and then kind of see where we go from there.
Well, Kris, congratulations on this. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, Mike.
Great to see you.
Always
and
great to see
hear
you. Thank you.
The Current is public media made possible thanks to member support.